Hello everyone, and thank you so much for joining today's session. Today we'll explore how to embed the BoldSign eSignature workflow directly into your .NET applications, enabling both the initiation of signature request and the completion of documents, all within your application interface, so users never have to leave your app. This fully embedded workflow enhances the overall user experience and keeps everything seamless and secure. Before we dive in, let me quickly introduce myself. I am Harini, working as a software developer for BoldSign at Syncfusion. Here is what we'll cover in today's session. First, we'll be exploring how embedded workflows can benefit you by streamlining the document processes and enhancing the user experience within your .NET applications. And I'll also show you a live demo showcasing the embedded sending and signing workflows using BoldSign .NET SDK. Finally, we'll wrap up with a Q&A, so feel free to ask your questions in the chat anytime. Our team is here to help. Before we begin, let's start with a quick interaction. I'm sharing a poll on screen, so please let us know how familiar are you with embedding BoldSign's eSignature workflow in .NET applications? So familiar, somewhat familiar, just getting started, or this is my first time hearing about it. So please go ahead and submit your responses to the poll. So thank you for sharing your responses. That's really helpful. So no matter where you are starting from, this session will guide you through how BoldSign's embedded workflows can enhance the entire e-signature process, not only for signers but also for senders, developers, and operation teams. So we'll explore how it simplifies the document preparation, improves tracking and automation, and gives your team full control, all within your .NET application. Now let's jump in and explore what the embedded workflow is and how it can benefit you. So before that, here is a quick introduction to BoldSign, a secure, user-friendly e-signature platform that helps teams send, sign, and manage documents from anywhere. It offers APIs and SDKs that makes it easy to integrate e-signature workflows into your applications. So one of those features is embedded sending and signing, which is what we'll be focusing on today. So embedded sending and signing simply means that everything from preparing the document to getting it signed happens right inside your own application. So your users don't need to switch to another platform or open a separate link. So they can fill out and sign documents directly within your app, making the experience smoother, faster, and more professional. So here is why embedded workflows are a game changer. So first thing is seamless user experience. Users stay within your app from start to finish, so there will be no redirects. Next thing is branding. So you can customize the interface to match your brand's look and feel. And you can easily embed into your existing systems and portals. So let me walk you through a quick demo to show how it works. So for this demo, I have used a mock brand called CubeFlakes to represent a fictional company, and the sample is built around an HR onboarding use case where both HR admins and employees can send and sign documents directly within the application. First, I'll log in as an HR admin to send a signature request. As you can see, the dashboard displays how many documents have been sent, which ones are signed, and which are still pending. and from here I can send signature requests to new hires. So when I click to send a document, a dialog opens. Here I have embedded the request URL in an iframe, making it easy to send signature requests through a clean UI. I proceed to send the document. Once it's sent, client-side events are triggered from the iframe. You will see a toast message and the dialog gets closed. I have also set up webhook listeners to update the document status table automatically. So next let me show you how the signer completes the signing process. I'll log in as an employee. As you can see, the documents assigned to me for signing are listed here. When I click sign, a dialog box opens with the embedded signing URL, allowing me to sign the document right within the app. So once signed, I can click view to see the completed document. Interesting, right? Now let's continue the session and see it all in action. First, let me show you how to generate the embedded request URL to send signature request from within your app. So this sample is built using an ASP.NET Core MVC web app. Let me run the sample. As shown in the quick overview, we need to generate the embedded request URL and assign it to the iframe source inside a dialog. For that, on the client side, when the send button is clicked, it calls the create embedded request URL endpoint from the home controller. I just navigate to that endpoint. So here we have to generate the embedded request URL. So to begin, I install the BoldSign API SDK from the NuGet package manager. And add the BoldSign namespace to the project. Next, to generate the embedded request URL, I refer to the developer documentation on this topic. So it provides code snippets in multiple programming languages along with detailed descriptions of each properties. I'll copy the .NET code snippet and paste it to the endpoint. Now I just proceed to update the API key. So you can create your own API key from the BoldSign web app under the API section by selecting API key. So from here you can generate and store it securely. So I have also configured webhooks to update the document status in the database and refresh the UI accordingly. So this webhook triggered all the BoldSign events. Next, I just update the document title. So this API is similar to the standard document request endpoint. So the key difference is that it includes additional customization properties for embedding the experience directly into your application. I remove the code for setting form fields, adding signers and attaching files. So if you already have a file and want users to configure form fields for that file, then you can include the form field, signer details and the file, and you can set the view option to prepare page. In my case, I want HR admins to upload the files and enter the signer details, so I set the view option to filling page. Since I want the employees to sign the document within the application, I set the disable emails property to true. So this prevents BoldSign from sending signing related emails and keeps the entire workflow inside the app. You can also set a redirect URL which takes users to a new page after the document is sent. And you can also configure the locally so users can interact with the interface in their own preferred language. Once everything is set, I return the embedded request URL. Let me show you the webhook endpoint that gets triggered for all the BoldSign events. So as I mentioned earlier, this endpoint is responsible for updating the document details in the database and refreshing the document status table in the sample application. So this ensures that any change, whether a document is sent, signed, declined or completed, is reflected in real time within the app. So now let me just run the sample. I log in as HR admin. See, the request URL is now embedded in the dialog, making it easy to send the documents to new hires. Now I'll show you how to handle the client-side events. So these events trigger based on the actions in the embedded page. For example, when the onCreate success event fires, when the document is sent successfully, I hide the dialog and display a toast message confirming the document was sent successfully. Now let me send the document. As you can see, after the document has been sent successfully, the dialog has been closed and the toast message has been displayed. Next, let me show you how to customize the toolbar. You can hide the default BoldSign toolbar and display your own custom toolbar to control the document flow. For reference, here is the documentation on how to customize the toolbar. In this sample, I disable the default toolbar while generating the embedded request URL. So this allows me to display my own custom toolbar instead. So initially, I show a proceed button that navigates to the next page. So when clicked, it triggers an iframe message called on next click, which sends a message from the main application to the embedded iframe, allowing you to control the embedded experience from your app. So when the page navigates to the prepare page, I captured that event using on page navigation. So if the current page type is the prepare page, I display the send document button and trigger the iframe post message on send click, which sends the document for signing. So now let me run the sample and show you how the customized toolbar appears. I log in as an HR admin and send the document. As you can see, the default toolbar is hidden and the custom toolbar I added is visible. So I just proceed to configure form fields and then send the document for signing. See, now the document has been sent successfully. So far we have seen how to generate the embedded request URL, embedding it in an iframe, customizing the toolbar and handling the client-side events. Now let's move on and see how to create an embedded signing URL that allows the users to sign the document directly within your application. So when the sign button is clicked, I call the get embedded signing URL endpoint from the home controller. So to this endpoint, I just pass the document ID and email address. So make sure values must match with the values used when the document was originally sent. So any mismatch will result in an error. It's important to ensure that signing URL is shared only with the intended signer, since anyone with the access to the URL can sign the document. Always validate and securely distribute the signing link to the correct user. So to generate the signing link, I refer to the developer documentation and I just copy the .NET code snippet for generating the embedded signing URL and paste it into the endpoint. I then return the signing URL from the endpoint. I also update the client-side events. So when the document is signed, the on document signed event is triggered. So in response, I just hide the dialog and display a toast message confirming the successful signing. Now let me run the sample and log in as an employee. And sign the document. As you can see, once the document is signed, the toast message appears and the dialog gets closed and UI updates with the latest document status. Now let me show you how to view the completed document. To do this, you'll need to pass the document ID of the document which you want to view. So when the view button is clicked, it calls the document signed endpoint and this endpoint downloads the document using the provided document ID and returns it as a file. I then open this file in a new browser tab for viewing. So that's it. We have come to the end of the session. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat. We are happy to help. Before we wrap up, if you would like to stay updated on the latest features, tips, and product news from BoldSign, be sure to follow us on social media. We regularly share updates, how-to videos, and helpful content across all platforms. Just search for BoldSign or Syncfusion and hit the follow or subscribe button. So thank you all once again for being part of today's session. I hope this walkthrough gave you a clear understanding of how to embed BoldSign's send and sign experience directly into your .NET applications. So from generating the embedded request URL and customizing toolbars to handling client-side events and the sign-up flows. So if you have not explored BoldSign's embedded features yet, I highly recommend to give them a try. It's incredibly easy to integrate and you can start testing with just a few lines of codes. I'll be sharing a link to sign up for a free sandbox account so you can try out these features along with the developer documentation to help you get started. If you have any questions after today's session, feel free to reach out to our support team anytime via email or live chat. So we are here to help. Thanks again and have a great weekend.